So X-Men Days of Future Past. It opens with a monologue by Patrick Stewart, Professor X, and he's narrating this shitty world that's in the future. I think it's like 2023, and it's just horrible. It looks like the Transformers and the Terminators fought each other, and now the world has just been shit on. And right after that awesome opening monologue, we have a great fight scene between the new X-Men and the Sentinels. And I thought with two sets of X-Men being in the movie, you know, the ones in the 70s and the ones in 2023, that this movie was going to feel overcrowded, but it really didn't. I mean, some of the characters could have had more screen time. That would have been nice, but it actually felt pretty balanced. And the new X-Men are awesome. Iceman's doing his ice surfing thing, and it just looks great. He's a block of ice, and it's just cool. He looks great. Colossus is all metal, and he just looks freaking beastly, and he's all shiny. And the CGI in this movie is awesome. Oh, and Blink. Blink's powers are so cool. Like, she uses her powers, but everyone else in the team uses her powers too, and it's like, her powers are like the portal gun from Portal 2. It's so cool. It's like some of the coolest action sequences are with her, and she just uses it so just intelligently and strategically. It's really cool. And even the Human Torch makes a guest appearance. Just kidding, it's Sunspot, but Sunspot is totally a Human Torch knockoff. I mean, he looks like it at least. If the Human Torch is Sprite, then Sunspot is like Sierra Mist. I mean, he can even fly. All of their powers look just so badass, but it's nothing compared to the Sentinels, which don't look as cool as I thought they would, but they're terrifying. They are terrifying. You just feel the stakes immediately. As soon as you see this fight scene, this first action sequence, you're like, oh no. I see why all of the mutants are dying now. And that's why they have to go back in time. They being Wolverine. They're trying to get Wolverine to go back and make it so the Sentinels don't kill everything. And normally with time travel movies, I have this huge problem, at least me. I just can't suspend my disbelief. I find myself asking too many questions. Oh, well, if it was this way, and then if they went back, then it wouldn't happen in the future. And yeah, this movie, I had no problem suspending my disbelief. Suspension of disbelief was totally easy to obtain in this movie, and I just floated right along with the plot. I didn't find myself asking questions at all. Wolverine, like, I don't like Bone Claws. I know it was before Weapon X and stuff, but I just don't like Bone Claws. He's just not as badass. I mean, he's still a badass, like, clearly, he's awesome. He's got a great healing factor and he still has claws, but it's just Bone Claws just aren't as cool. And the character's still awesome and really fun to watch, and the action sequences, he's still a badass, but he's not as badass. My number one worry in this whole movie was Quicksilver. Evan Peters, I think he's a great actor. I loved the first season of American Horror Story, basically because of him. It was awesome. But when I saw Quicksilver, I'm like, no, that doesn't look good. He looks nothing like the comic, or even, he doesn't even look cool. And like, I get it, it's like the 70s, so he has to dress funky, and I get it. I don't know, he just, like, there was one poster, he literally looked like Rosie O'Donnell to me. I mean, that's just, to me, how he looked, I don't know. But Quicksilver has the coolest action sequence in this whole movie. It is awesome, and his character is just cool and fun to watch. He's young. He's like a kid. He's kind of like in his teens, and he's just it's so funny. He's a kleptomaniac. It's great. Young Charles Xavier is a dick, and yes, he can walk, and it's explained in a really good way. Young Magneto is still a dick, even to Mystique. He's a dick, but old Magneto is actually refreshingly heroic. It's really, that's an interesting thing to watch there. After seeing X1 and X2, and I don't count X3, so X1 and X2, seeing him be that and see him turn to this in the future, that's really interesting to watch. One of the best parts about this whole movie is watching the relationship between young Magneto and young Professor X. That was the best part about First Class. It really was. And it's not the best part about this film because there's so many good parts, but it is there, and you can see the anger between the two characters, but you can also see the want to have a or like a rekindle of a friendship, and you can totally see how it sets the groundwork for their relationship in X1 and X2, and in the future even 2023. It's Mystique. Jennifer Lawrence has finally made this role her own. She's awesome in the role. It's so fun to watch. She's just got these great fight scenes. It takes me back to like X1, X2. It's great. And she has a huge, like, pivotal role. The movie pivots on her, and that's really cool. I'm really glad to see that they're using Jennifer Lawrence for a role like this. It's great. And Days of Future Past totally fixes that abomination that is X-Men 3. It just fixed it. It's like, oh, what's Brett Ratner? Like, that's literally what Bryan Singer has done. But it also leaves you with a lot of questions. Like, how is Professor X alive after being deadamatized by the Phoenix? And how did Wolverine get his adamantium claws back? Because he lost them in Japan, and then he has them in the future in 2023. And it just doesn't say. It doesn't say how he got them. I'd like to know. I don't know if he was in like a Costco and he found them and he like, oh, there they are, and he put them on. I don't know. I'd like to know. That's my backstory. You have to make your own backstory. Mine is he got them at Costco. Since when can Kitty Pryde just send people back in time by like tickling their temples? That's kind of confusing to me. I guess I'll just roll with. You can really feel that the stakes are raised throughout the whole movie. You know, there's some movies where you're like, okay, yeah, the world's gonna be destroyed. But no, this movie, you're hanging on. You're like, oh, are they gonna make it? Are they gonna do what they need to do to get things done and prevent the Sentinels from just tearing shit up in the future? Or are they going to totally fail? I feel like the movie is really about the need for hope to thrive. You see it, and you just have hope for the future X-Men movies. You're like, oh, there could be a good Phoenix saga now, because Bryan Singer's back. And, oh, Age of Apocalypse, I want to see it right now, today. I want it out right now. It's not going to happen, but I'd like it to, because I really am so excited to see it. And it's just great. When I first heard about it, I'm like, yeah, whatever. But now that I've seen Days of Future Past, it just looks so good. The future looks so good. X-Men Days of Future Past, it's so good. I adore it. I'm gonna go see it again, for sure. I'm definitely gonna go see it again. There's Easter eggs galore that I know that I missed, and I just want to see it again just for those, and because it's just a great watch. It's so much fun. It's an awesome movie. You have to see it. You have to. If you like comic book movies, if you like Hugh Jackman, if you like movies, you gotta go see this movie. It's great. Let me know what you thought about the movie in the comments below, and see you in the next review. Stay for the end credits sequence, because it's awesome, and ask a nerdy friend who that is.